In Good Shape, your weekly dose of health information on Deutsche Welle. Find out more about what's new in medical treatment, alternative medicine, as well as nutrition, wellness, and beauty. Medical professionals, therapists, and counselors are in our studio to offer their expert advice on In Good Shape.
With me in the studio today is Dr. Bernd Kleine-Gunk, and he's an expert in longevity and president of the German Society of Anti-Aging Medicine. Welcome to the studio.
Hello.
Hello. And what happens in our body as we age?
Well, it's different factors that are responsible. One, for example, is oxidation, the effect of free radicals. Hormone or lack of hormones is another factor. Quite a new recent theory of aging is silent inflammation. So chronic low-level inflammations that are in our body and that are really the cause of different age-related disease like arteriosclerosis or also dementia and even cancer.
So if we do have rotten teeth, that means that we age earlier?
Yeah, it's rotten teeth, but also another source of those silent inflammation is fatty tissue, especially that in the abdomen. So that is also one of the reasons why obese people do have a shortened life expectancy.
Okay, so we can really do something about it. So it's not just all in our genes how old we will be.
That's true. So it's something like 30% that is in our genes, but it's 70% lifestyle. So there's actually a lot about what we can do about aging, and the process of aging is not just written in our genes, but it's something that we can influence.
Yeah, so every family has this story about some distant uncle who smoked and drank and never did any sports, and still this uncle get until the age of 100. So is there any truth to this kind of stories?
Some of them are true, but modern medicine does not really rely on anecdotes, but it relies on statistics and it relies on good studies. And the statistics and the studies, they tell us a very clear message, and that is smoking is reducing your life expectancy, doing exercise, eating well is prolonging it.
Okay, so and if I personally want to have a good head start and I want to do something against this aging, when should I start? How early should I start?
Best is to start in the uterus. We know that the way that your mother behaves, what she eats, what she does during pregnancy is really determining your fate later in life. But okay, you have little influence on that.
Right.
Otherwise, yes, prevention should start as early as possible. But on the other hand, it's never too late to do the right things.
So it's never too late to do anything for this, yeah. Okay, and what about exercise? We saw this in the film. Is there any single exercise you would recommend for anti-aging purposes?
Actually, I would even suggest that you mix it a little bit. There's two main directions in exercise. One is more directed to endurance, and one is more directed to muscle building. And for a long time, we concentrated very much on endurance. And now we know that muscles are important. For example, in the prevention of osteoporosis, you need the action of muscles to build up bone density. And even to keep your body weight, muscles are burning calories 24 hours a day. So the more muscles you have, the better you keep your body weight.
Dr. Kleine-Gunk, do I need vitamin supplements, or is good, healthy food enough?
Well, for a long time, vitamins were a big topic in anti-aging medicine. And by taking, for example, high dose of vitamin C or vitamin E, we believed by down-regulating oxidative stress, we could prolong our lifespan. The recent studies were a little bit disappointing according to this. But on the other hand, it does not mean that we do not need supplements. For example, in Germany, we have a very long winter, and then we get into vitamin D deficiency. And then it's, of course, a very good thing to take vitamin D. And there are other micronutrients as well that we need, like folic acid and so on.
And do I need to see my GP, my doctor, just to get myself checked on vitamin D deficiency? Or is it okay when I say, okay, I live in a long winter country, so I'd better take it?
Well, you can measure vitamin D levels, and whatever you can measure, then it's good to do so. If you do not have the possibility, then in wintertime you can just take it like that as well.
One about the methods and trick of anti-aging medicine seems to be caloric restriction, meaning not overeating, essentially. So is there any truth about this?
Yes, there is. In fact, we have very good studies, mainly with animals, and they show, for example, that rats in the laboratory, when they are fed 30% less nutrition, then they will live up to 50% more. And this has been shown in other species as well. So calorie restriction, yes, it does work. But on the other hand, it's difficult to apply it to human beings because rats just don't get more food, and we still have the chance to call the pizza service or something else. And in a time where most of the people have big difficulties just to keep their body weight on a normal level, then calorie restriction is not really an option for the majority of the people.
But one trick might be just to cancel the dinner, the so-called dinner cancelling.
Dinner cancelling.
Yeah, does it work?
Dinner cancelling is a special way of calorie restriction. Of course, if you quit one meal, then it's also dinner cancelling. The other thing is that when you cancel your dinner, then you get in a sort of a hypoglycemia during the night. And this is also a stimulus for your brain to secrete more growth hormone. And that is an extra effect of dinner cancelling.
And if I don't want to cut away all my food, is there any other way to mimic this effect, like resveratrol, for instance?
Yes, resveratrol is a so-called CR mimetic, so a substance that mimics the effects of calorie restriction. That's the good news. The bad news is from what you get in red wine, you should have to drink something like 12 or 15 bottles a day to get the right amount of resveratrol, and that's something that's not really good for your liver. So we have to wait for also supplements or maybe for pharmacologically improved resveratrol, which has the same effect.
Okay. And anti-aging medicine is not all about longevity, it's also about looking healthy and looking young, isn't it? So what benefit do you get from looking young?
Yeah, that's aesthetic anti-aging, and it's a part of the package. So it's not what we are mainly dealing with, but of course you cannot exclude it. And in fact, looking younger often helps to feel younger, and that, as I said, is part of the package. But anti-aging medicine, as we see it, is more a preventive medicine against age-related disease. So it's really more than just skin deep.
Great. Thank you for all the insights. Dr. Kleine-Gunk, a lot to learn to stay healthy.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you again.